Hi, and welcome to Dance of the Soul. It's this weekly podcast that Natasha and I have been doing now for over a year. Actually, it'll be January, March, April, almost, well, gosh, it'll be a year and a half in a couple months. And
Mm-hmm.
we just enjoy getting together and just talking, like two people that are talking about how to deal with the world coming from our higher perspective, coming from ourselves where, love and light comes from, um, trying to find ways of not feeling like we're victims, but yet that we're here for a reason and purpose and learning and that sort of thing. Both of us have pretty extensive backgrounds. We actually help people to visit the other side. I do that by putting people in trance through the process I learned from the Michael Newton Institute, which has had about 65,000 successful cases of people going to heaven for a few hours and coming back, kind of like a near-death experience without the death part, you know. And
The
Natasha
grace and
is,
ease of it instead of the
yeah,
trauma
it's easy.
drama of it.
You don't have to almost die. It's an easy process. The books from the Newton Institute have sold over 1 million copies. People are really interested in this kind of thing. And so Natasha and I are here to try to help people to get that higher viewpoint. Natasha will talk about her mediumship in a minute, and I love working with her because, that's the another way that people can visit the other side. So really, there's like near-death experiences. There's a medium that can, help you with things from the other side, and then there's clinical hypnosis, which can also help you to deal with that. So, Natasha, why don't you introduce yourself there, and then we'll talk about what the topic is today.
I am so grateful to be in the world of that I'm in to support and love people through what they're going through because of the fact that I have gone through a lot of different things. And the conversation we're going to have today, it was one of the things I had to do a couple times over. Uh, and um, and it was a struggle for me to do that. So with that I want people to know that no matter where you're at, that you're loved for one. And we're all going through something major right now with emotions getting triggered, having to deal with a lot on our plate. And Bev, thank you. I'll put your post
Hey, there's
across
Bev
here in a minute.
already.
Yeah, but Bev has been very much in this dance that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
I know her personally and I send her love and I'm grateful. I'll see her tomorrow. Um, with a session that and I'm not going to talk anymore about that because it's privatality. Is that a word, privatality?
You just made it up. That's how words happen.
My mother of heart said, Natasha, that's not in the dictionary, but it fit perfect where you
It
were at.
fits. It fits.
But it's one of those things that as we go through life, so through my psychic mediumship, my intuitiveness, been intuitive my whole life, I get the bigger picture and I step into past lives. I do this. I go forward with life. And thank you, Bev, for giving me that. Okay. She just said it was okay that I kind of
Oh,
speak of
that's
it,
it.
but I won't. But
Yeah.
I love having sessions with people because I can do it here but yet there's more clarity when I get into the privateness of it. And I'm blessed to be able to do that through sessions, through mediumship, through meditations, through a lot of different scenarios that I go through. And, you know, I speak of a lot of things that I know because if I don't know it in this lifetime, I've known it in another lifetime. So why should I judge? I don't
Yeah.
judge anybody and I know Regan, you hold little judgment for people too because of your life. You've gone through stuff. So we both hold people with very tender care. And that's Regan and I am so grateful Regan was like brought into my life so that we can
Vice
do
versa.
this together. And we've come, we have not met personally yet. One of these days when I'm down in
Yeah.
California and down in San Diego, I'm hoping that you can be down in San Diego and I can say
Hmm.
Regan and give you a hug. For real.
Yeah. I'm just getting ready to. 2 weeks I'll be down in Los Angeles for about 10 days, and I have 6 sessions scheduled down there already. It's like once I decided to go down to see one client, then all of a sudden get all these calls from people in LA. It's
Uh-huh.
just like the universe knows.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
Bev put in said thank you Regan for your
Oh,
books.
you're welcome, Bev.
You
Yeah.
yeah. And Veronica, thank you for being here, sweetie.
Yeah.
You're an amazing being too. I'm so grateful. So if you are here, this is a conversation when we are on the show. We love comments that are done with wellness and grace. And I know that people on Twitter, I sadly cannot see your posts there. So if you would like to make comments, can you go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, and I'll get I'll get comments either through Facebook, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications, or my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications.
Yeah, and you
And
spell
so,
that. Let me spell it for him. It's Venter, right?
yes,
Venter. Because on
Venter,
your screen
Vent.
right here,
Oh,
it just
thank
says
you for
Natasha.
knowing that. Yeah, I've had a couple migraines lately, so my brain's been a little
Yeah,
cooked and done. But
Natasha
yeah,
Venter.
Natasha, and then Venter, V is in Victor, Enter. So
Yeah, and
blessings.
they can make comments. It's good. Well, it's
Yeah.
good we have a couple of friends here today too, because maybe they could chime in too, because we've all gone through this. The subject we wanted to pick today was how do we support people that are in crisis? You know, I mean, it seems like we all take our turn. It's either, a parent that's in their last days or something, are going through a tough thing. People have had accidents. Other or maybe neighbors that you're really friends with. It's not just close family, but sometimes it's even friends that that are going through things, and especially nowadays with COVID and and everything going on. There's a lot of serious things people are going through, and I know we all sometimes feel like, well, all I can say is I'm sorry you're going through this, but what is other souls? What's our responsibility to help other people to go through these difficult times? Because in a sense, we're all here to help each other walk home. Whether it's just through love, through a service, through helping, and maybe we just chat around, see what some other people did to help today. I wrote down some things I was just thinking, and I have just like. So I talk about someone that I really care about going through, they just found a tumor and they're going to go in and do some exploratory stuff. And, all of a sudden you go, tumor, oh my God, you think cancer and everything. But then when you really do some research, you realize that a lot of these things are not cancer, they're just growths and that sort of thing. But
Mhm.
still, people kind of freak out when they hear that. And so you want to be there to support them. So
Exactly.
what would you say would be the number one thing that we could do, Natasha? I mean, then we can go from there.
Well, Skylar here has
Oh,
popped
Skylar.
in. Hi, Skylar. Welcome. Happy Monday to you too. Well, being someone who is a caretaker of supporting someone going through a crisis, and a crisis could be someone who is needing to get off of an addiction.
You're right. Yeah.
A crisis could be, somebody getting an information of, let's say, like you were saying, tumor, or
Hmm.
like, you know, uh, sadly, and I'm trying to be careful about how I talk about this because I only want love to go. But like right now, my father-in-law's in the hospital, and he's, that's why we went down to California or down to Florida this last Christmas, because I got
Oh,
told that as a family, we need to go. We need to go. And, we all get hit with something. I know
yeah.
for me that, back when my kids were little, you know, I went through losing my whole family within 7 years. My parents, my uncle, and my grandparents. And I'm only child, only grandchild on one side. And luckily, I still had my other family, but my dad's side of the family, but my whole mom's side of the family left. And
Yeah.
when you're going through crisis like that, it's hard to take care of you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that I want people to know that when you're going through taking care of somebody, we have to make sure we get on the list. That
Hmm.
we get on the list. So there might be that all of a sudden situation, the news, all of a sudden, and the first couple weeks, yeah, give what you need to give. Be in the moment of support. At the same time, though, when the new normality of it happens, that when that normality happens of it, that we have to sometimes get put on the list. And that could be being able to sit in the car before you go in and take care of the loved one. Take a moment and breathe for a moment. Um, uh, do those things that you can do to appease yourself. Now, for me, when I was taking care of my mother, who had Lou Gehrig's disease, and I had a newborn baby and a 4-year-old,
Oh boy.
that at that time, that my go-to was chocolate graham crackers. Well, I would say that's not taking care of myself. That literally was not taking care of myself. That was burning my adrenals out, my adrenal glands out. So with that putting yourself on the list means is that you have somebody say, if you can find a family member, you can find somebody, can you come and sit with them for an hour?
Yeah.
And let me have a moment where even if I just go sit out in my car, have your own personal time.
Yeah. It's funny.
And
Yeah.
go
Go.
ahead.
Well, I was thinking, when I had my scare about 4 years ago where I thought I might die for a bit, spent a month in the hospital, I got to be on that side, the receiving end, and I found things that I liked that people did, and I found things that were irritating that I didn't like. So made me think that sometimes you don't want to push your help onto people because sometimes they would rather, just leave well enough alone or whatever. But I loved I got cards from people that people told people and whatever. And I was laying in the hospital bed out of it, for a month. And I'd get these cards and I'd go, whoa, how nice of that person to send me a card, um, and my significant other, like Patty, she was with me in Hawaii when this happened, and I just told her, I want you to go home. I don't want you sitting here for a month in the hospital with me, because I'd be thinking about her all the time, and like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to just lay there and just get better. I didn't want all this, interaction or having to worry about her all the time. So she reluctantly did that. She went back to America, or back to America. We were in America. She went back to the States, or to the mainland. I see. And then we just, I texted her every day, or I would talk to her on the phone a little bit because I was so weak. I just didn't want someone hovering,
Mm-hmm.
all the time, So I guess it's good to know that too. But my sister, who had just taken to be a Mormon, wanted to know if she could send the elders by, and
Yeah.
I felt so much love from that she was willing in her way, because she knew in her way that's what she would like, that I said yes. And these two young men showed up, and we became even still friends. I mean, they came back 2 or 3 times, and we had these wonderful conversations, just about God and things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
it was good. But so I just happened to think, before I forgot, I wanted to say, well, be sure and say, is there anything I can do? Seriously, is there anything I can do? And maybe make a few suggestions, like if you have a neighbor or something, you could say, hey, let me watch the kids for you when you don't have someone to watch them while you're going through that. Or maybe you can go do the grocery shopping for them or something,
Mm-hmm.
just a little things, but you don't have to be, you know, overbearing. But some people would love to have all that, and other people would say, no, just leave me alone. And then you got to just leave them alone, I guess.
Exactly. And Skylar, I know that you made a comment, and let me tap into that
Yeah, what's
comment.
Skylar say?
Oh, no, no. But let's finish this up a little bit, because there's
Okay.
something I want to say about this too. But I just wanted to acknowledge that Skylar did write something, and I do want to interact with that conversation.
Okay.
And I'm figuring out how I'm tapping into my guides as as
Okay.
we're talking. And so, because this is a tricky one, Skylar, this is a tricky one that to answer here. So I wanted to honor her
I can't
and
wait
say
to
that
hear it.
I did too. But that's the thing is that when we're going through something with taking care of someone, that especially if it's short term or long term, and there's a difference in caregiving. There's a difference in supporting someone through a situation. And when it is short term, like they have, let's say that somebody broke a leg and they can't get up and cook for a little while, it's easier to push yourself onto someone right then. But when you get into more of a longer term, and people kind of forget about that, instant scenario that happened. And,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is not everybody is vulnerable at that time. They get into kind of a fear and flight mode.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you just got to show up with something,
Yeah.
and you show up with something and just say, here, uh, put it in the freezer if you need to. It's fresh, or eat it tonight. It's up to you. I just wanted to be here for you. And then if they don't want to talk, leave, because you never know what somebody's going to be like. And we cannot take somebody's emotions when they're going through a stressful moment personally.
Right. Yeah. Because that's when people sometimes are at their ugliest and they apologize later. But it's just like someone's standing on your foot, and you just, instinctively, do those kind of things. You got to give them a little slack. That's for sure.
Exactly. And when we're going through life, we're majorly getting hit left and right by things, and it seems like we have this happens, and then all of a sudden that other thing happens,
Yeah.
and we never know how are we supposed to stand up through this. But I'm going to tell you that as we go through life, being truthful for where we're at is the best thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm scared for the future. I don't know what the future is going to be. I'm mad at the future of this scenario. Why did this have to happen to someone who is very special and caring and loving? And why? It's like you have all these things, but honor each one. Even if you need to scream into a pillow and get that emotion out, that it's okay for that moment.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things. So we're going to take a little side note here, and
Yeah.
I want to deal with Skylar's, I want to
What's up, Skylar?
honor Skylar's roommate scenario.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So Skylar, this is a tricky one to answer as an intuitive person. And I want to honor. I feel like that his vitality for life is very strong. I feel like he will be safe. Yet at the same time, when you're talking about humanity, anything that I feel intuitively can change because of the humanness, the human decisions. And I mean that with love. And I mean that with grace. I know that will he come back to us? There's going to be once he gets over there, he's going to see a need that his country has, because his country is basically being destroyed. How do I'm asking for wording because of the fact that this is a very tricky conversation.
Yes.
And I send love. I send love. I feel like that he will come back. I cannot tell you how long he'll be, because of the fact that there's something that he is called to support his family over there. And I mean his family by his homeland family. And there's a deeper calling in him for this, and I can honor him for that. Will he come back? There is a great possibility he will come back. How he will come back is another story. He will, there again, we're talking about people who go through life altering experiences, and he will have some scenarios that he will be walking with, and my love goes with him. I see angels around him. I see, there's a greater picture going on over here in Ukraine, and I can speak of it in privacy, but not necessarily on this channel, because I don't want to get snubbed because of somebody who is saying, you can't talk about that. No, 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 no. And then we get cut off, type of thing. So I'm trying to watch my wording here because I don't want to get audited or whatever that word is. I want him to really Don't stand in fear. If you can tell him this, Skylar, please don't stand in fear, because that fear is going to make him freeze when he should move. And so the more he can stand in, what is my interaction to being? And I want you to know, and Skylar, thank you for letting me know he's listening. I want you to know, Skylar's friend, that you are safe. I see angels around you. I see you protected. I actually see you wearing a shield in front, kind of like a bullet. What's the word? A bulletproof vest.
Mhm.
But yet at the same time, I see it metal, and I see Archangel Michael giving you his shield. Okay, if that makes any sense. So Archangel Michael is giving you his metal shield to protect you. He's done that for a lot of the people. I want you to know, though, that as you go, um, honor your emotions while you're over there, please, because of the fact that the more that you can cry when you need to cry, when you need to scream and be mad, when you need to scream and be mad, do it healthily, please. But keeping those emotions all knotted up is going to be what's the thing is going to keep haunting you later, if that makes any sense. So please, as you're going through this, Skylar's friend, please honor your emotions as you're going through there. And my love is with you, because I know, it's not right what's going on. And I can't go any further than that, because otherwise it's like, um,
Well, see, he is in the subject we're talking about today is supporting, like his friends going through a crisis right now. He's got people back there. His homeland is being destroyed, and so many people are going back there. What I would just say too, though, Natasha too, is just if he can, everything that he does over there, do it with love. I mean, even if you have to go out and fight, don't do it out of hatred. Don't do it out of revenge, because that's just gonna put you on the dark side too. But there's a way of like being an honorable samurai in a way. In other words, you just do it because you're defending your country, because you love your country and the people in it, and the bad guys are out there. So somebody has to do it. But there's a way, just like she said, Mark, if you could just picture, however you picture Michael Archangel, make him up in your mind, even if he's a cartoon character, they won't care. Make it up. And if you're having to go into the danger part, just feel him and say, look, may I do everything, with love? May I help save my country? And see what happens. But his partner there, Skylar or something,
mhm.
if your friend there feels he needs to do that and that's his calling, then you have to support him in that. Just like it's his destiny.
Mhm.
And however
And
that
I feel
turns
like
out.
that there is a destiny thing in here, because I can tell you that your friend, that I don't necessarily know his name, but I'm already getting pictures that you have spent past lives being in the Highlands and doing a lot of this kind of work. So this, I don't want to call it comes naturally, but you've done it before. Okay, so to explain what Archangel Michael is like, he is one of those angels that people want to put him on a pedestal, put him in white cloaks and all that kind of thing, but he's actually um, a angel who loves to wear cowboy boots, jeans, and he may be wearing an armored sword, armored chest, uh, uh, like the old times, when he's in battle for us. Like he'll stand in front of something and say, "Come on, not in my freaking house," And then, or if we need to do our own battle, he'll hand over his sword, which is huge,
Yeah,
and give it to you. So if you watch the John Travolta Archangel Michael
I love
uh
that.
movie, that is Archangel Michael to a T. He channeled Archangel Michael, I don't know how, I mean, through 90% of that movie. So with that going through that he is someone who will be in the trenches with you, and I don't mean the dirt trenches, I mean the trenches of the mind, and hold you with love.
Yeah.
And when we're going through this moment of um uh we're all in the moments of going forward. And thank you, Skylar. Let's see. He said, we're
Yeah.
supporting him
Nikolai.
100%. Nikolai. Yes, yes, Nikolai.
Yeah.
And I won't put up his other name.
Now,
So it's when we're doing that, and Nikolai, I want you to know that it's okay to be afraid. It's
yeah.
okay. I have never been in war that way. I've been in other personal wars. I've spent a lifetime or as an angel actually on World War One, where I would go from the trenches, help get people off the who were shot and take them off. So I feel the vibration of bullets going past
Yeah.
me.
I want to
And that
mention,
can,
yeah.
go. And so with that I can in my own way empathize with and sympathize with being in that moment. And you're going to do the better you can. And I know that there's been pictures of this, but there is going to be an animal that comes to you. Honor that moment when that cat or dog comes to you. I can't really feel what it is right now. I think it's more feminine, like cat, than it is dog, but feline, I should say, not feminine, but feline. That honor what they're trying to help you with, and knowing that those four-leggers are your guides to help you. Let them be your listening skills. Let them be if they kind of start going, wait a minute, what's going on? That's your key to help out. So finding that balance of going through this process. And thank you for protecting him. We got him a vest, she says. Yes.
Yeah.
But there's also this metaphorical vest or that's going to be on too. Don't say that now I'm invincible, but at the same time though, know that you are protected energetically also. You're going to go into something that's going to be life altering. Honor yourself going through that life altering experiences. And I'm going to tell you, when we're going through a life altering experience, there is a part of us that's going to stay with us, and there's going to be parts of us that change. And that core part of you, you may have to come back full circle before you find that part of you, but you will be there. You are there. I can tell you that, like for me going through my life altering experiences, my husband even says, you're not the same woman I married, but yet me being my core person has never changed. I used to be such a shy, quiet person that I wouldn't even talk to somebody sitting next to me on a bus. Now I'm on a show. But my sane core person is here. So with that his dad's in spirit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So his dad's in spirit too. Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those things that you do have. I see you having a team around you, as I see many going through the scenario over there. I don't know why some of these people are having to go through this. That's a personal scenario for them. I can't
Mhm.
speak of that. I don't want to get into politics of the whys. I'm just putting prayer out there anytime that I can pray that the light of love comes and embraces the whole land. I know that that land over there is really old and stuck in a lot of history, and this might be I'm praying that this might hopefully will be the thing that shakes it up to become a lighter, loving, more area of a country. Because anything that borders with Russia has work to do.
Yeah. I want to mention too now, just Nikolai, as we found out in studying the human mind and brain, is that some men have the wiring to be warriors and others don't. And there's no shame either way. In other words, two people could be in battle side by side, and one of them will see a friend die or something like that, and for the rest of his life, he's a mess, and the other one is no problem. So if you're over there, and let's say if you do in the battle thing, you'll know pretty quick whether it's something that you're born for or not. If not, then help in other ways, and what you could do when you're over there, say, look, I'm here to be of service for the war effort. Where can I best be used? And that's a good place to start. I mean, even if it's making sandwiches for the soldiers on the line, that's just as important as the guys on the front line. I mean, in World War II, it was the people that kept the supplies coming, that the merchant marines that, took the boats over to Europe, like that. These were just as much the heroes as the guys in the front line. Because I know youth, sometimes we all think we could get up there and just, be the warrior and everything. But sometimes we find out that our software, we're not meant to be that. We're meant to be help in other ways. So, just find out over there and say, hey, look, I'm here. What can I do? Because whatever you do, and put love into it, and that's going to help that effort.
Go with the flow. The
Yeah.
flow, the universe will help you be where you need to be, because you are where you are needed to be.
Right. And if for some reason something happens over there, if you see things, if you come back to the States and you find yourself emotionally messed up, then you need to see somebody like me, because we have things right now that are very, very effective for getting you back to normal.
Normalcy.
Normalcy. Right. That's the best way to put it. Right. Mm-hmm. A sense of normalcy. Right.
A sense of normalcy. And that's the thing is that sometimes when we're stuck, let's say I'm just going to use this as a metaphor. Sometimes we're in a hurry to go somewhere and we get stuck at a red light. And it's like, I don't want to be stuck at a red light. I want to get to my destination and do what I'm supposed to do there. But the thing is, though, there's a purpose for us being stuck at a red light.
Right.
So, Nikolai, if you end up kind of getting into this, why am I not going and doing? Why am I not where I thought I should be? Put that by the wayside, because there's some situation that you weren't meant to be in or witness. Right. And that grace of the universe saying,
yeah, I
will
mean,
be the benefit. You will be in the perfect time where you're at the minute that you're there.
What about these heroes over there that are driving the buses into these areas to get people and get them out? I mean, that's like, wow, there's so many heroes over there already, or people that are laying down their lives actually for freedom, So let's just hope that you go over there and you just do it with love. You'd be as big of a help as you can, and then you come back safely. That would be nice.
Yes. Blessings with you and your journey. Blessings with you and your journey. And there again is, that even though he'll be away, Skylar, you're going to be worried about him. And, that's where, for me, when I am consciously worried for someone, like I had a picture that was sent to me from of my father-in-law, and I did Reiki over him. I did Reiki energy because that can help do some work, whatever it's supposed to happen. Light a candle, do those things that take, write down, have a piece of paper, notepad by your bed, Skylar, and write down your worries.
Right.
Interact with what is going on. Light a candle safely. Do these things that can go for walks. Be honest. I'm worried about Skylar right now, and it's okay that that you are worried. And yes, I'm going to be worrying. The thing is, though, you where you're at, send love. Send appreciation, send honor, light a candle, do those things. Because if you stand and worry all the time that he's gone, that your body is going to be going through things that you don't need to go through. So it's okay if you kind of have this love for him and appreciation for where he's going. But please take care of you. At the same time, be a little bit, okay, I'm going to watch a movie so I don't have to worry for a little while. Give yourself a break. Like my kids, when I was really stressed out, would put on Carol Burnett's show.
Oh, wow.
Because the fact that I needed to laugh because I was in sorrow so much that they knew I needed to laugh to balance out my emotions. And that's the thing that we don't do for ourselves when we're in stressful moments, is we don't balance our emotions. We stay in a split in a place because we think that that's where we need to be, when actually if we can balance our emotions, have a lighter moment. Like even those people that are going through the scenario, if we can get a good movie on for them so that they can mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually go away somewhere for a little while so their body can get out of the humdrum of going through it.
Yeah. And, in the research, of course, that we've found with the Newton Institute, we've found that, everybody has guides, everybody has people that are attached to them. So, for both of you, for Nikolai and for Skylar, I mean, there's, and even if you don't know their names, if you haven't met your guides or something, you just kind of look up and say, hey, take care of, just take care of, you take care of him, and my guides hope they take care of me to get through this,
Mm-hmm.
that will kind of help. So, and it's a real thing. I mean, I'm just a researcher. I'm not for any particular religion or anything, but in deep hypnosis, people go right to the other side, and there's always an angel or a guide there. They go
Yep.
boom, and then they go to heaven and back. And so, depending on what you signed up for when you came down in this body, you're probably on your mission right now. If you have that real feeling that you have to go over there, you have to kind of follow that and see where it goes.
Exactly, exactly. Because I can tell you in honesty that, like I just channeled them on my Facebook page, a message from Jesus. And it's like, man is the one that put our guides and angels in religion.
Yeah.
They didn't, guides and angels and star beings and fairies. They're here. They
And
don't
all,
care what we're attached to in our belief system.
yeah, and
So,
Nikolai, your father that's on the other side is accessible through just talk to him like you would talk to him if he's in the room. We found that over and over and over again. When people get the other side,
good
they go, "Oh
job.
gosh, my mom and dad say they've been watching me the whole time, and they've been trying to help me." But you have to be kind of open to listening to what they're trying to do and the guidance and everything. Uh,
Exactly,
and if your
exactly. And I'm
heart's open
sorry.
that way, yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Skylar, that you've lost your brother, which puts more worry into your
yeah.
to Nikolai. And I can, wow.
Skylar, too, both of you guys should make an agreement before you go about keeping in touch and how you're going to do it. And then I know things can change when you get over there, and there'll be times when maybe you can't keep up a certain schedule or something. But just knowing, that, Nikolai, since Skylar's going to be having emotional pain just because he's worried about you, keep that in consideration so that even if you're busy and stuff over there, just text him a little bit and say, "Hey, bro, talk to you later, but I'm okay," or just something simple. That really helps a lot, you know.
Well, I know that over there, a lot of the technical scenario is not working. Uh,
Yeah, I hear. Well, I
and
know.
so with that,
Yeah,
but you know what? I feel like you two are pretty connected. And so I bet you if like say Nikolai, if you put out there energetically, I'm fine, I'm fine. I bet you, Skylar, you'd be kind of like going, yeah. And I bet you,
mm,
Skylar, that your brother can help because your brother's in spirit. That your brother can give you a little bit of grace of saying, you just kind of get this. If Skylar, if you all of a sudden get this relaxed feeling, just know that that's part of something somewhere is trying to tell you that things are fine.
yeah,
And whatever fine is in the definition, maybe fine can be safe. Sometimes it's because you just never know what you're going to go into.
yeah.
So
And
oh
yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Skylar, both of you guys, keep Natasha's information because if you're going through a little bit of a crisis or something like that, Natasha, believe me, because she's helped me. I know through my experience here, because I had a loved one that passed on about 2 months ago, and Natasha's helped me get in touch with her, and it's really, really helped. I've done a lot of healing that way, and you can call just keep in touch, or just our shows. You just have to do the time change if you can, but we're on 4 o'clock every Monday. So if something gets sticky or if you're having a difficult time, and call us up and let's talk a little bit, or get a private session with Natasha. She's extremely reasonable. She does this because she loves to do it, just like I do it too, so money isn't our main focus here. It's just, something we do to pay the bills, but we want to help as many people as we can. So keep us in touch. Keep in touch with
Yes,
us.
yes, yes. Skylar, if you would like to go to my website, angelicclarifications.com, or if you like this channel that you're on right now, my Facebook channel, then and then I can because I'll reply to your message here once we're done with the show here, but so that I can see that you're part of the group, and we can do that. I can uh, on my personal account, I do not cross my personal Facebook page friendships with my business friendships. So with that I hold my business as an honor and integrity. So with that, please like and be a part of the group here, because I do quite a bit of posts on being inspirational and give messages and stuff like that.
Yeah. Good luck to you guys.
Yes. Oh, I bet. I bet it's hard. It's so hard. Wow. All grief is the same, but at the same time, though, a parent losing a child, it's in that unspeakable moment. That unspeakable moment.
Yeah.
And I am so sorry that your mother and you are going through this. It's yeah, he passed in December. Oh, ouch. That's pretty dang, yeah.
That's fresh.
That's what she said. That's what he said. That it's
Oh.
fresh. And yes, uh well, it was an accidental OD.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and
Mhm.
there is ouch. I honor your family. I honor your family, because the fact that there's some drugs that are being mixed and people don't know what they're taking,
Mhm.
and yeah, fentanyl, and people don't know what they're taking. I have a family member who crosses that line too, and I keep saying to him that you don't know what you're going to get next time. You don't know what you're going to get next time. So it's uh yeah, it's fentanyl
Yeah.
and
I don't know if
so
that's pronounced kratom or kratom or what.
it's actually a new drug that's out there now. It's
I
not a
hadn't
new
heard of
drug,
that one.
but it's a drug that's they're getting more powerful and powerful. And I'm so sorry your family's going through this. I'm so sorry.
There's a lot. Yeah.
I do in my professional work that I do. I have honored a lot of family members, especially parents who have lost children to early passing, and I have helped them get some, I don't want to say okayness with it, but some understanding with it.
Right.
And that's what I do with my mediumship, as I have an understanding that is bigger than the picture that is shown in humanity and in humanness.
Yeah.
And I've had people who said, thank you, you've given me a moment to where I get to walkable grief. And yet your mother, it's not something that can happen quickly. I know that I walked a path with my mother of heart, who lost a child when he was in his 20s, and 20 years later there were some times where it hit her like it was yesterday, and
Yeah.
she was a mother who grieved her child, and I
Also,
watched her for 20 years doing that.
yeah, as we mentioned a number of times on here, I've to people, there's a video or a show that she might get some solace from on Netflix, and it's called Surviving Death.
Hmm.
And
Thank
it's
you,
really,
Bev.
really good. Yeah, and it's all about how people from the other side contact her. Like, she could watch for her dreams. There's a number of different ways, and eventually, like, Natasha can help you, and I could, I have people come to me frequently who have lost people, and then in a deep state of trance are able to go the other side and actually have a conversation with them. So it's a little more lengthy and involved in that. And Natasha can give you kind of a quick, she does it just a switch kind of thing. But so in other words, there's ways too of just realizing that there are ways of still having some sort of contact with the people that have passed on, and that really helps a lot to really realize that everything is okay.
And I'm going to tell you that grief is an interesting dance, and a lot of mothers, fathers, loved ones who do not feel their loved one who has passed gets hurt because they don't see them yet, talk with them yet. But I can tell you though that it's because of where we're at mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and
Right.
grievanly. There's another word, grievanly. That it's not that they're not there.
Yeah.
They're in a different format, so that because sometimes our siblings do not show up to our parents because of the fact that our parents are hurting so bad
Yeah.
that they do not want to feel like they want to hurt them any more than they already are hurting. And that's not something, and we can say that, oh no, 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 I won't be hurting more, I won't be hurting more. But there's something that when we cross a line, we never know what that's going to happen on the other side of the line. And so it's easier to perceive what's going to happen on this side of the line before we cross over. And so
Yeah.
your mother will, I can tell you, your brother wants to. There's going to be a moment where it's going to happen. I feel like your mother feels him. There's a place where she stands routinely. Like I don't want to say, it's almost like what I'm seeing is like your mother stands like at the kitchen sink and looks out the window. Or there's something that she's standing in front of and she looks out her window. Well, that's when your brother stands behind her and sends
Hmm.
love. But she is in such a moment in that time that she does not feel him. But he's with her. Okay, so let's see. I got to catch up here. Let's see. Da-da-da. Don't feel him yet. Catching up with you, Skylar. I talk to him all the time. Almost hear
That's
him.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yay! Because that's what happens. Because what we hear sometimes is just a conversation we have in our head. We may not hear them, but we get the feeling that we're hearing them because there's a conversation going off in our head. It's the
Yeah.
ESP type of thing.
And there's a book
Yeah,
called
that you said.
a book called Destiny of Souls, and it sold about 500,000 copies. You could get them even used on Amazon, even or whatever. And there's a whole chapter in there, and the research we're doing at the Newton Institute to talk about all the different ways that people from the other side try to contact us. And when I have people in trance and they're on the other side, and they are in a past life, they see them pass away. A lot of them don't want to continue on to heaven yet or the afterlife. They want to stick around for a while and help the people that are in trauma or in pain. And then once they feel they're okay, then they go about their business. But they always kind of got an eye out for us, I think.
Mhm.
You
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like my father, I was pregnant with my first child. I bought my first house. 6 weeks later, my dad died. 6 weeks later, I had my first child. So with that when my father passed, for those 6 weeks, pretty much, and a little bit after, he kind of stuck around a little bit to spend time with the soul of my child, my my Scott. I say, you spent way too much time with my dad on the other side because there's things you know about that only he knew about. And so with there's those conversations.
Yeah.
But my dad was very much interactive. And me being the intuitive that I am, I knew it was him. We would have light bulbs go out. We would have this happen. We would have that happen. And I knew it would be my dad. I just know my dad. And so with that as we were going through life, but so remember that as you're having that conversation with him, that he is around. But if you don't reach him, don't be hurt, because he's soul is going through some work too. So know that if he's not right there, he is there in love.
Yeah.
Okay. uh
Yeah, and two, some people worry about, my son or something died of drugs, and so I wonder if he's going to hell or something like that. No, no, there's none of that over there.
and
Actually, if
yeah,
he
yeah,
needs
yeah.
help for some reason, he gets help over there, and counseling and guidance, and no one's going to be more disappointed than him that he OD'd if it was just, if he'd made a wrong choice or something, he's going to be okay.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that, I don't want to say they're in limbo while they're not quite crossing over, because they do cross over quite quickly, but they can come back. It's not like they go over and not able to come back. They come back and they go back and back. Like my father, he knew what he was doing when he passed. I mean, he was one foot in this. I always said when he was alive here, he had one foot in this world and one foot in the other world, kind of like me. And so with that when he crossed over, said, "Hi, how you doing?" And then, "I'm going to take care of my daughter because she's pregnant and I want to have some conversations with the kid." So with that, as we were going through life and managing life, that he was pretty interactive. And then my mom passed away 3 years later with Lou Gehrig's disease when I had my other child. And so he actually helped me get this home. My dad did. So being interactive and being there, he'll still be there. Now he will start transitioning over into his spirit form more than his life form that he was on this earth. But you know what? I feel like that the way he was on this earth is the way that his soul's personality is. Every soul has a personality. And a lot of times our personalities is what we see. Now, I would say somebody like Hitler and stuff like that, sometimes we take kind of a hiatus with our souls a little bit, like let's say the fun and jokingly, and maybe he was a little jokingly, but there's certain things of our souls that stay with us during our lifetimes, and that's our core personality. So his core personality is quite joking, and so he will always be a joker when he comes and visits you. Okay, so yeah, okay, so he was in limbo for a while after a month. Yeah, and that happens that month.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I thought that we didn't see those. So
yeah. Well, when I have people in sessions and they go to the other side, they go to a past life and then they see themselves pass away. And then because they've had a rough life, sometimes in that case, there's I call it a drying out period. The guide will let them go to a place of rejuvenation for a while, and sometimes that could be a month or years, sometimes in human years, but up there, it just happens pretty much instantly. But, some of the case histories, we've had people that have really disappointed, they kind of failed their mission when they came down and they're disappointing themselves. They put themselves in kind of a limbo or kind of a timeout for a while to regroup, and to do some more studying, to whatever, before they decide to let themselves out and come back and try it again. So,
and I am so sorry for his 12-year-old son. That is one of the hardest ages.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hard time to lose.
You're just coming into some hormones and your brain is getting cooked and it's I hope that the son's mother or family will understand that counseling of some sort
counseling
could
would be great.
the greatest gift. Support groups. It doesn't have to be something logistic. It could be, but don't let him swim. Please don't let him swim. He'll this age is a hard one to deal with the passing of someone, and it takes a while to get your legs back underneath you, but if you have something that gives you a voice during the process, it will help.
Counseling would be really good, and just keep an eye on him. I mean, he's right at the age now where, because of this loss, he's very more vulnerable and easier to go the drug route, just like Dad.
He didn't want to. My son.
He didn't want to.
But his son is so strong.
Okay, good for him.
And he has a great mom. Oh, good. We can be strong at one moment and weak at another. And grief is an interesting yo-yo.
Yeah.
And if he can be honored during that moment, even if he is strong, there is the moment where he doesn't necessarily, sometimes going to a support group, it's nice because you don't have to speak if you don't want to. You just you can listen. Yeah. And I know that for me, I deal with grief a lot differently because I have a knowing, and I can tell that his son is an older soul, so he has some knowings in him, yet at the same time, going through life is not easy, and he might be fine for a little while, but then there's going to be a time where it's like, wow,
Yeah.
who am I? What am I doing? Um, so leave my mom, his son, and his dog.
Oh, the hardest for him.
Yeah. And then me too, and I could take it. Yes. So it's just having those moments where, people sometimes when somebody passes, they forget to talk about them.
Yeah.
And remembering somebody is sometimes the easiest way to do it. And Skylar, my love goes for you. You guys are going through a lot right now with with Nikolai leaving, a passing of the family, and this is that point where we were talking about taking care of somebody.
Yeah.
Well, whenever we're having to go through something, if we have to take care of somebody else, we have to take care of, when we're taking care of others, we have to take care of ourselves. And that's the fine line between these two balances of going through life altering experiences. And grief is one of the biggest life altering experience we can go through.
And as we always say, grief is unexpressed love. So that you're going through it, it's just this love that you wish you could express, this coming out in that way, So um, grief can be a chance to grow, a chance to become more empathetic and to become more compassionate. So there's some good that will happen too. So
Yes.
Natasha's been through it. I've been through it. You're going through it now, and it's just part of life. But it's how you deal with it that will, um, either enhance your quality of life or bring it down. So, and everybody on the other side, everybody over there is just fine, no matter how they died or whatever. They're in good hands. So, don't worry about them. But it's just the sadness and not, we miss them.
Yeah, we
You know,
do
I
miss them.
I thought the other day, even in the work we do, Natasha, like when I had that scare of my friend that's going to maybe go through a tumor removed, and I thought, well, what if I lose her, or something like that, and and I thought, well, hey, look what I do here. I've been to the other side twice myself now, and I know everything's okay and everything's going to be okay. So why do I still feel that? But it just seems to be part of the human experience that you're going to miss people that you love until you're
It's the
seeing them again.
physicality. It's the physicality of people that we miss.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I miss. I miss my dad.
Yeah.
I miss his physicality. He was my other part. I would start one sentence, he would finish it. Our two souls were pretty close together. I mean, we were, pretty close. So
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting to talk in a session I did this week. The young man saw his father on the other side, and his father was his guide. He saw the guide, and the guide said, "Yeah, I'm your dad," and he realized, and that's why he and his dad are like so close, and the dad is so loving and so nurturing to him his whole life, and that's pretty special when your guide actually incarnates, so that they can be right there with you to help you go through things. That was first time
i.e.
that's
my
happened.
father. My father has turned out to be one of my guides.
Yeah.
But I kind of told him that he couldn't come back unless he was a kid through my family. So.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the guy at the burger place, that flips the burgers.
Exactly.
Hey, you want to be with them.
Yeah. So thank you, Skylar, for letting us know that this is
You guys are
helping you.
welcome. Yeah, we
Yeah,
wish you
you are
guys
so.
the best. That's what the
Yes.
show's for, for people to call in, and we're just giving you both our 2 cents worth. But it just seems to be what we're supposed to be doing,
Yes.
is all helping each other. And Skylar and Nikolai, good luck to you.
Yes. Yeah. So Skylar said yes. The hardest part of me is that I don't
Um,
know what I will do when my parents and my go with my brother are supposed to. Yeah. Mhm. Uh, my love is
God,
with you. My
yeah,
love is with you. And that's the thing is that I know that, and then I'll have to do it. So
yeah. You have,
I at 28, I was the oldest in my generation on my mother's side.
yeah,
Uh, so I understand that process. And with my friends, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there'll be other. We found out on the other side when I help people go there that they have a soul group, and these are souls that they regularly incarnate with,
Hmm.
and the people that showed up in your life's play are probably part of that group. So you're not going to
Definitely.
ever just be alone, or there may be someone from your soul group that hasn't shown up in your life yet. Maybe that will show up. That'll be somebody, but um, if not, I say buy a dog, and you'll never be sorry. You're a cat, or someone to give you love, and that you can love too. But you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be strong and quite a guy. So
Yeah, yes. And I want you to know that no matter where you're at, you're in the perfect place where you're going to be, and appreciate. This is the thing that if anybody, going back to what we were starting about talking about, being caretakers and supporting
yeah,
people you love, that know that no matter where you're at, you're in the perfect place to be. You're going
yeah,
to be the one who is going to be the better for the person, and at the same time, please remember to take care of you, because you are going through something yourself
yeah,
and going through. And remember that sometimes when we're going through something that, like for me, I lost one of my animals passed away. Well, then that triggered the grief of another animal, my dad, my mom, my
yeah,
uncle. Da, 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 and it was like, holy crap. I thought I got through all those schnutzers. But at the same time, I didn't, because of the fact that they all got triggered. And we're going through the process of love and shifting, and know that no matter where you're at, that tomorrow is another day. Appreciate, that's the word I want to say. Appreciate where you're at in the moment,
yeah,
because for me, that is the one thing that has gotten me through, knowing that no matter what, tomorrow's time can change, and appreciate what I have in the moment that I'm in it. And that helps me to leave people better than I found them. It helps me be better than I was. It helps everything happen to a rolling start. So let's see. You are great. And then he said, I,
oh, animals are super. Yeah.
I love animals. And I am so glad that you are you, by the way.
Yeah,
I
that's
have,
awesome.
so I have no kids.
Yeah,
Um, and every day is a gift, not a given right. Exactly.
you're
Thank
you're
you for that
lucky.
perspective, because that is that's what's going to make the biggest difference.
Yeah,
So
you got to be who you are. That's the only way to have true freedom, and that's great, Skylar. Like when I have people on the other side, people just see each other usually as these globes of energy and things like
mhm.
that. You don't see any breasts or penises over there, unless they want to manifest that, which they can, over there. But you see, we're all souls. So the thing is to just love who shows up,
Mhm.
and
Exactly,
and let
exactly.
let everybody else what they think. They're going through their own stuff. Just be yourself.
So, Skylar, thank you. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, whoever watches
Yeah,
this in the future, for being here. We do
yeah.
hope this show is helpful. Regan and I are here every Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific time.
And
And we have
mhm.
different conversations that we talk about. And a lot of times they kind of take on their own
Yeah,
destination, kind of
the
like this
last two
one.
weeks and last week too. Yeah,
And yes, I will pray. You're in my prayers,
yeah,
Skylar, you and your family, whoever the family is, blood or not blood. It could be total. Family is family.
yeah.
Love is love. And so with that Regan, how do people get a hold of you?
It visitstheafterlife.com. Feel free to watch. There's some great videos on there. Um, And just a quick synopsis, the Newton Institute, we have a process that we've helped 65,000 people experience going to heaven and back. And I've done it twice, so I know it's real. And it may sound strange, but we all have that ability. It's kind of like becoming your own medium for a few hours. And you can get a hold of me at visittheafterlife.com, watch the videos on there. And I do also traditional therapy through Zoom also, or in person. And all the phone number, everything's on their website there. And I'm still giving away if you ask for the free book called Reincarnation is Real, it's all free on my website. Just ask for a copy and I'll send you an ebook copy. So hope to see you guys next week.
Yes. So again, Regan and I are here Mondays at 4 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And then on Wednesdays, I have my show, Life Clarifications with Natasha. And that is on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter also. Sometimes I get on Instagram when I don't have a gift. When I don't have a guest.
No, yeah.
And that's one of my shows is going to be about on Wednesday is about being human, because the last show that I did, I was having a migraine and I said some things that were very humanistically done. Like I said, it was a new moon instead of a full moon. And, you know, I was definitely my own self.
Oh, well.
Life happens. So you can reach me at Natasha Venter, AngelicClarifications.com. And Bev, I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for a private session. I appreciate you coming and trusting your family
Bev,
member
for
with
being
me.
here too.
Yeah,
Everybody was there today. Yeah.
And I am a follower now and saved your website. Thank
Awesome,
you, Skylar.
Glad
Yes,
to have
thank
you on
you.
the family.
Yes, 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 definitely. And blessings to all. And remember that no matter where you're at, you are definitely not alone. You do have guides and support. And even though you may not feel them, they are there still.
Yep.
Trust the process, because if you get a little idea, a sprinkling of an idea about going and doing something or doing this or you know, having an inspiration to try doing something new or something like that, that's your guides talking to you, as long as it's good conversation. So blessings with you, and we will see you next week. We don't know what we're talking about yet, but we may talk about a little bit more of this. Talk to you later. Bye now.
See you guys.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Good luck to you guys.
Blessings.